If you're like me and you gave all of your money away to Lightkeeper in hopes that he would somehow magically appear on the Lighthouse map after the recent event, you're either disappointed or broke or both. And I'm kind of both at the moment. I've had no motivation to play since that event. I've had no money to PvP and no money to finish the quests that I need to finish. But don't worry, because this game is easy to make money on if you know how. So in this video I'm going to show you a raid that I do on Lighthouse, usually as a scav, which nets me anywhere between 500,000 to 1,000,000 rubles every time I do this raid successfully. I'm going to be showing you this run as an offline PMC just to make it easier for me to show you the run completely, but like I say, I do this run as a scav and still pick up tons of items. Don't worry about all of the items being picked up by PMCs before you get a chance to spawn in, because Lighthouse is full of decent items. You can pick up some really good stuff. And 9 times out of 10 your scav's going to spawn right by the highway, so we're starting off at the highway and ending all the way down by the rogue area. So as soon as you spawn in as a scav, you're going to want to check what your scav already has on you, because you spawn with a random loadout. Sometimes you might have a decent weapon, an SV98 with a scope maybe, or you might have decent attachments in your bag, or 9 times out of 10 I spawn with good labs access keycards as well, and they're always a good thing to sell to therapists if you are low on money. Once you've done that, you're going to want to double tap O and check your extractions. You're going to see some extractions around exfil 3 to exfil 5 on a scav, which will either say industrial zone gates, or you've got the scav grotto. Both of those are located around the rogue area at the other end of the Lighthouse map, so we're going to be finishing our run right there. So as I mentioned, your scav is going to spawn at a random point along the highway, probably. So for reference sake, I'm going to take you from one end of the highway all the way down, so it covers every one of those scav spawns. So making your way to the highway, the first thing you're going to want to check is this green truck here. There are some pallets behind it, and you will find some fuel cans here that you can pick up. Then heading all the way down the highway, you're going to want to run past the dozer here, go all the way past the quad bike and these cars. This white van you're going to want to check the back of, because some technical items can spawn here, and the dead body, check that for meds. You can find Serve 12 kits or CMSs, pick them up. And then just on the left side of the highway you've got a sports bag, loot that as well, because you never know what you're going to find inside of these duffel bags. Basically pick up everything you can at this point, and it's only when you're full you can then start taking out stuff that is lower tier value and then replacing it with the higher tier value stuff. This red car also spawns food and technical items, so you can pick up anything in here as well, and then move on to the burnt out bus. All of these dead bodies by this bus spawn with medical items around them, so make sure you check there. You can find some ibuprofen and CMS kits and all that sort of stuff here, so that's great. Keep moving down past the dead scav that is resting up against this black SUV, and loot the green weapon crate here. And then from here you're going to want to move past the truck and further down the highway. The next thing you're going to want to loot is near this bus that is blocking the highway. There is a small wooden crate that has been blown open. Inside this wooden crate you can find different things. I found Bitcoin spawning here, other valuables, and you'll also see meds like melatonin and different stims inside this crate as well. Past this, further down the highway, you're going to want to keep going, and you're going to be heading closer and closer to a construction area. You're going to want to basically head down there, and there you can find some more technical items. So heading further down the highway, you'll see some wooden crates on the left hand side of the road. Over there you're going to want to go check them, because technical items can spawn on them and on the floor around them. So make sure you check them and pick up everything for the time being unless you're full. You're going to want to make sure you're picking up the best items per slot. So if this battery is 5 grand for example, it is a 1x1 slot. If this motor is 15 grand, then this is technically less valuable than one of these batteries, because even though you're getting more for your money with this motor, you can actually fit 4 5 grand batteries in this one motor. So you would make a 5 grand profit by picking up 4 of these batteries rather than 1 of these motors, as an example. And that counts with every item, but if you're not full, just pick up everything and you can go through that when the time comes. Keep heading down the highway and keep looting those wooden crates that are on the side or on the road, because you never know what is going to spawn around them. You can find military cables and all that sort of stuff around them as well. And as you head further down, like I say, you're going to see more of a construction-y area, so you're going to want to dip to the left of the highway now and go into the dirty area where the bus is, and you'll see a bunch of wooden crates that you can loot and tons of technical items that you can loot around as well. So you're going to want to jump up onto this trailer here and loot what's on top of this wooden box and what's below it, because things can spawn on both of these locations. And then moving further down, you've got the wire spools here that you can spawn some good items here. So just pick up all of the technical items you see. Again, keep looting the pallets and the wooden crates because they can all spawn technical items. And then past the digger, you're going to want to go over. There is some more crates that you can loot, another 4 of them. Pick up whatever you find and move on. You're going to want to now move back into the middle of the highway and follow the road to the rogue area. Just past this white van, there's another exploded crate. Loot inside these always, because you can find valuables and stims and technical items, all that sort of stuff inside of those crates. But other than that, keep moving past the bus and you'll slowly start to see the rogue encampment and the water treatment area. This area is quite dangerous at the start of the raid, so as a scav, you're going to be safer than doing this as a PMC. This is why I do it 9 times out of 10 as a scav. This doesn't mean you're going to survive every raid, but as long as you're not aggroing the rogues and you're just going about looting the crates, you'll be absolutely fine. Stay on the road here, and you're going to want to run in the gap in the fence between the AGS and the MG. So just run straight in between them and don't get too close to either one of those rogues if they are on the guns, because they will start shooting you. As soon as you're inside, there's a green tent to the left. In here you got a weapon box, make sure you loot that. And then check the table and the weapon boxes for any loose ammo and attachments. From here you're going to want to go around to the left. You've got a duffel bag sitting on some pallets, loot that. And then if you go all the way around behind the green tent, you've got a technical supply crate, which is never worth missing out on, because you never know what you're going to find in these as well. Got loads of technical items. You can even find the higher value sort of military cables and all that in here. Then inside of these red containers, you got a wooden ammo crate that you can loot. And you've got a weapon box in here, which could give you some armor like you see here, or some high tier ammo. So loot the weapon box for the ammo that spawns inside it and move on to the next one. In this one you have a medical box and a duffel bag, so make sure you loot them. The med case can spawn any sort of meds, so ophthalmoscopes, LEDXs and all that can spawn in the box, even though it's a low chance, but it's worth checking while you're here. And then after that, there is a green shipping container. You're going to want to go inside that and to the back. You've got this table which spawns attachments on it, so don't forget to check there. But at the back, you've got a large green weapon box that you can loot in here. You can find all sorts of stuff in here. As you can see, a nice MDR. And then from here, you've got a blue coat if you want to loot that. But other than that, you're going to want to go to these larger green tents that are open. And you're going to want to loot the technical supply crate that's in here as well. And check the couch for attachments, and these tool chests and all that for attachments also. These shelves also spawn some good stuff, to make sure you check them. And after that, head to the next green tent. There is a weapon box there, but you don't want to be out in the open too long while you're in here. So don't forget to check this tool chest here, because you can find valuables and high tier technical items like aces and all that sort of stuff. And you've got the toolbox here as well. From here, you're going to want to head across the road to that larger green tent with the light on it. So if you head there, you will see there is a few weapon boxes in here that you can loot. You got this long, thin one on this table. You've got the large green one at the back of these wooden crates. and you've got the small wooden one that you can loot here as well. And it's always worth checking the open ones because they do have a chance of spawning certain items like ammo and attachments. And then you're going to want to go into the metal container at the back, look to the left, and there is a small wooden crate that is open. Don't forget to check here, bitcoins, high tier valuables and aces, all that sort of stuff spawns in these types of crates. So anytime you walk past them in this area, make sure you give them a look, and then check for high tier ammo on these wooden crates as well. After that, you're going to want to head behind the shipping container and you'll see a sort of encampment on the top of this metal building. You're going to want to go up the stairs on the very right hand side and be careful not to get shot once you're up here. Check the pallet with the blue drum on it and check the wooden crate for attachments, and then you've got here spawns ammo and attachments, so don't forget to check. And sometimes things do fall through, as you can see. My guy's seeing something but he can't quite pick it up, so just be aware of that. And over here where you see this stim is spawning, this L1 stim, you can find valuables and aces on this spawn as well, so don't forget to check that. And then you've got a weapon box up here, and as well as on the wooden crate that this weapon box is on top of, you will find other attachments as well that you could pick up. If you find that you're starting to get full but you've got a couple of attachments and a weapon that doesn't have any attachments, so if you have a sight and it can fit on the weapon, make sure you put it on that weapon because you'll be able to save some room to pick up some more goodies. So after that, you're going to want to go into this pit over at the back. Be careful of the rogues in this area. If you do get too close, even as a scav, they do have a chance of shooting you, especially if they've been aggroed before. If you're the first person here or they haven't been aggroed in a while, you should be absolutely fine. Once you're down in this pit, go inside the green tent, check this table for high tier attachments, and then you can loot the filing cabinets if you want to, but you're going to want to check over the back here where all these radar stuff and all that is at the back, and then you've got this weapon box that you can loot as well. As you can see here, I could put this holographic on the MDR, save me some space. If you find that you found a helmet but you can't fit attachments on it and you want the helmet, obviously just swap out the contacts and you'll be fine. It's all about making good with what you've got in terms of space. And then once you get out of the tent, if you just go and loot the supply crate here, just resting against the tent, you can find some decent stuff. There's some fuel, that's some good money as well. And then you can always check over here between the barrels on these pallets as well, because technical items spawn there. Now what you're going to want to do is basically head back to that road that we were on as soon as we came into this area. Once you're back on the road, you'll see another tent. This is a medical tent, so make sure you loot the technical supply crate that's out by this generator. And then move into the medical tent. Check this table for medical items that spawn here. And then once you go in, you should find some medical items on this table, on this stretcher, and some weapon attachments on these cabinets. Once out of here, continue heading down the road and you'll see a smashed open wooden crate. Check there, as you can see, valuables and military grade tech spawn in here, so pick up anything that you find. And then head further down, you'll see a small silver outbuilding. You're going to want to go inside that, but also check this smashed open wooden crate as well while you're here. Inside here, more technical items and industrial stuff. Check the shelves as well as on the floor because it can spawn all about in here. And then after that, go inside of building 1. Once you're inside of building 1, take a left and go all the way into this dark corner. Around these wooden and cardboard boxes, you're going to see some valuable items that spawn on them and around them, as well as around this mattress, so make sure you look around here. And then you're going to want to just have a brief look over this entire building. Go up here for a weapon crate on the other side. And then continue moving through, and you'll see a couple of toolboxes in and around here, but loot what you can and get to the other side where you can see some stairs going up. Check both of these offices because a variation of different items can spawn on here. This bloody table can spawn meds, and on these shelves can spawn technical items. Same on the other side. So check these shelves. You've got a quest in here, so if you haven't done that quest yet, grab that while you're in here if you're a PMC. And then continue out the other side of building 1. Just before you leave, you'll see some bloody sandbags. On the right of that, another green box. You can find high tier ammo, and again, all of that stuff that I mentioned previously that can spawn in here. Once you're outside, just continue around the outside wall now. If you are only having the Scav grotto extract, then you're going to want to head to that. That is literally in this direction towards the water. Head over into that direction and extract there. If you have industrial zone gates, then you continue on this run to building 2, loot in and around building 2 and extract there. So go around this outer wall and you'll see building 2 straight in front of you. This is where the majority of the rogues seem to sit, and if they're aggroed already, you're going to need to be extremely careful, but if they're not, you should be able to just walk past them. Before you go inside them though, you're going to want to see this red door to the right hand side. Go inside of this red door, and there are a couple more items you can loot inside of the water treatment compound. So down by these tents, high tier attachments spawn on this chest here. There's a toolbox for you. And then you got another technical supply crate. More fuel. And again, if you don't have room, dump things to make room if it's more valuable to take. And then you've got this green table. Again, more high tier attachments can spawn in and around this table. After that, go back out that door you just came in and head now inside of building 2. Once inside of building 2, look to your left and you've got a bunch of blue shelves. On the bottom shelf of these shelves spawns a ton of tech items. Again, you've got chances of finding graphics cards, vertexes, all that sort of stuff in here. So make sure you're having a good look about and check these smashed crates, because again, you never know what you're going to find in them. So have a brief look around. You're also going to find things like thermite and TNT, explosive bricks and all that sort of stuff. So have a good look around and pick up what you find valuable. Then once you've looted around here, go over to that fire drum barrel. Around here spawns food and meds, so check here, and then you've got some more blue shelves which you can loot for those industrial and tech items. Moving further into room 2, you got another smashed open crate which you can loot, and also the crate behind it does spawn with things on top of it. After that, you can head and loot the offices upstairs, the one that is open. Again, things spawn on this table and on this knocked over sort of cabinet. And then you got the one on the other side. Again, you can loot the shelves, and on top of this table, technical items and meds spawn on there. Once you've done that, feel free to dip out of the other side of this area. Once you're outside, you can simply extract at industrial zone gates if you got it. Don't forget to break your legs as well, like I just did. That's funny, right? You can go over to these red gates, and this is industrial zone gates for any scavs. And that should net you a good amount of rubles by extracting with whatever you've picked up. Now what you see here on this offline raid is nowhere near the amount of stuff that I can pull out on a scav run, even with 15 minutes left of the raid. So bear that in mind. A lot of items in the offline raid are reduced, but you will see some screenshots that I'll put on screen of just the sort of things I have been pulling out with these runs. And this run doesn't take long, and it's quite a good route to take. Now there's more obvious different things that you can loot inside of the rogue area, but that sort of run that I do hits quite a lot of the main things and avoids being in that area too long to get attacked by PMCs that snipe on these rocks over here and unfriendly player scavs and all that sort of stuff. So extract when you need to, and hopefully with this run you can find quite a lot of goods that you know could sell, keep, use for future raids, and have sort of a bit of money behind you to do what you need to do again, because after all that stuff that we just had to deal with the lightkeeper being mean, we're all a bit down on money. So do this run and hopefully you can get some more money out of it. And of course, if you see other friendly player scavs doing this run, do it together. There's enough loot going around, and if you're in a team, you can share loot. If you're looking for a certain thing, they might have it. You know, get my drift? Work as a team, be friendly, use VoIP. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, a like's always appreciated. Subscribe for future content, and I'll see you in the next one as I limp away. Goodbye.